analysis, head to the homepage of clickondetroit.com. We also have new information into the newsroom tonight. Ford is expected to announce a $400 million investment in a former truck plant tomorrow. The Michigan truck plant in Wayne used to make gas guzzlers. Well, Ford wants to retool this factory to produce its small cars from Europe. The change could bring 1,500 new jobs to the area in the next 10 years or so. Of course, we will be following this story tomorrow, so stay with Local 4 and Click on Detroit for further updates.
WTIV Local 4 News at 4 starts now.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Ruth Spencer, and welcome to First at 4, also live streaming on our web channel, clickondetroit.com. Meanwhile, major changes are coming to Ford's old Michigan truck plant in Wayne. This morning, the executives announced that Ford will invest $550 million to retool the plant and produce smaller, more fuel-efficient cars. Local 4's Jim Kurtzner is in Wayne with more on the transformation.
Check it out. This assembly line has been idle since last year when gas hit $4 a gallon. Ford put the brakes on the big SUVs made here, the Ford Expedition and the Lincoln Navigator. This entire facility will now be transformed into a flexible factory to make several small, green, in other words, fuel-efficient cars.
When you come back here in another year, year and a half, you're going to see a very, very different plant.
The Ford facts behind this, investing $550 million into the former Michigan truck assembly plant. New small cars go into production next year, maintaining 3,200 jobs. The United Auto Workers Union is giving flexible work rules. The state, county, and city are giving $160 million in tax incentives. And the new computerized factory will have a flex body and paint shop to make as many as 6 cars under one roof. The cars will be built on the C-Max, or compact platform, designed and successfully produced by Ford in Europe. They will be rebranded as a new Ford Focus here in the States and will be gas, plug-in hybrids, and all-electric on the market by 2012.
You think about it, in the worst of times worldwide, what we're here today is to celebrate a plan to profitably grow Ford. What do you think of that?
So, as governor of Michigan, I can just say on behalf of all 10 million of our citizens that these really, really tough times, thank you for this gift of believing in our state, in our country, and for making American cars by American workers. God bless you all. Thank you, my dear.
So spirits out here are as bright as the lights on the finished part of the assembly line. Remember, Ford is driving into the future without government aid, so that makes the spirit even higher. In Wayne, Jim Kurtzner, Local 4.
WTIV Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Other news today, Chrysler is focusing its attention on its bankruptcy court proceedings in New York. General Motors is focusing on its restructuring plan to stay out of bankruptcy. And Ford is focusing on, well, Focus, the new Focus. Business editor Rob Maloney is live in Wayne, where Ford has some big plans for its plant there and the car that will be coming off the assembly line there. Rod, nice to hear some news about growth rather than contraction.
Well, how about, yes, Devin, we could all use a little bit of good news, and it's happening out here at what is now the Michigan assembly plant, used to be the truck plant, and Ford's doing something a little novel, exactly what they said they would do last fall, which was to redo this plant, spend millions of dollars, and save jobs. The next generation Focus will look more like this European version Focus on the road right now, and they'll build it at what was the Michigan truck plant. CEO Alan Mullally calls it a pitched battle.
I mean, we are fighting for the soul of manufacturing in Michigan, in the United States of America, and worldwide.
Ford will maintain 3,200 jobs it idled when they shuttered Wayne Truck last year and spend more than $500 million on the place so they can build the 2010 Global Focus and the 2011 Battery Electric Focus. We drove that car at this year's auto show, and again today, you truly can't tell there aren't 6 cylinders under the hood. On this silent assembly line, they built Expeditions and Navigators, but now they're going to take the $550 million and gut this place and completely rebuild it so they can build the cars of Ford's future. The governor could not contain her glee.
I can just say on behalf of all 10 million of our citizens that these really, really tough times, thank you for this gift of believing in our state, in our country, and in our workforce. It is a balm for our soul during tough times.
And while executives and politicians smile, the line workers who moved on to another plant, like Angela Goddard, say it's a welcome return home.
I'm excited because this means we have a future, first of all, and we get to show the company exactly what we can do as far as quality.
So I guess you could say there is an awful lot of Michigan soul out here in this plant, trying to take that first legitimate stab at trying to build small cars in this country profitably, which hasn't been done previously. And there's a lot of hope here at this plant. Live in Wayne, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, it certainly feels good. Thank you, Rod.
3,200 jobs are in the works in Wayne as Ford gears up to invest $500 million in an old truck plant there. The plan is to convert it into a facility that will build Ford's next generation Focus, expected to roll off the line next year. The plant will also build a new battery electric version of the Focus too. So why is Ford able to move forward while General Motors and Chrysler are struggling just to stay alive? Let's get to our business editor, Rod Maloney, live in Wayne with more on what I guess we'll have to call the Ford advantage right now, Ron.
It is the Ford advantage, Devin. Let's face it. They went and got private money before the credit crunch. They didn't take government money, and now they're poised to grow by building new cars out here. So Ford is very different, and they haven't talked about it much, but now that the government bailout is taking root, they're pointing out their differences to the consumer. The first difference for Ford is on the assembly line. While it's talked about its quality, President of the Americas Mark Fields is positively crowing.
Our quality is better than Honda and tied with Toyota.
Translation, Ford's real competition is now the Japanese transplants. Next, Ford will retool what was the Michigan truck plant, turn it into Michigan Assembly. Here they'll build a global Focus based on the small European platform to show Washington and the world it is less like GM and Chrysler. Still, Chairman William Clay Ford Jr. is torn.
I don't like at all what I see going on at Chrysler and at GM because it makes me very sad. They're part of the fabric of this industry, they're part of the fabric of this community, and I desperately want them to succeed.
But if the chairman won't distance the company from the domestics, UAW Vice President Bob King...
The General Motors plan is not acceptable to the American public. I don't think the American public will support their tax dollars being used to close more plants and then to openly say we're going to bring the product in from Korea and China and Mexico.
Auto Pacific analyst Stephanie Brindley says Ford is not entirely out of the domestic woods.
Right now, everybody needs good news whenever they can have it, and if they can bolster themselves up a little bit and contrast themselves with the companies that are in trouble, they're going to take that opportunity.
Now, William Clay Ford Jr. did point out that it really is not a good idea to crow right now, and that's not what he wants people to think they're doing, because he says, look, this is the way it is. The car sales environment right now is so bad that if it doesn't improve, say, in the next year to 18 months, Ford could be looking for government money as well, so they're just out trying to sell as many cars as they can. Live in Wayne, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod.
WTIV Local 4 News Morning starts now.
And our Jim Kirzner joins us this morning with some encouraging news about the future of Ford and jobs. Jim?
Good morning. The automotive news in the Motor City this morning, not all gloom and doom. A big announcement coming from the Blue Oval, and it's coming up next on Local 4 News Morning.
Next, Ellen, the sexiest man alive, Hugh Jackman.
You look fabulous. Well, sexy, like the sexiest man alive.
The downside is Clooney calls me a lot.
I bet he's angry.
All new Ellen.
This morning at 10 on Local 4.
Diamonds. The Jewelry Factory has thousands. Half-carat to 2-carat solitaires are $2.99 to $19.90. 1-carat studs, $3.99. Large fancies and GIA ideal makes all guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Factory in Livonia.
Wayne County Community College District is leading the way to transform America's workforce, leading by bringing together national experts in workforce training, economic growth, and career development, leading by building coalitions with educational institutions throughout the country, leading by providing training for the jobs of today and preparing for the jobs of tomorrow. If you want to change careers or upgrade your skills, talk to us about your goals. Register now. Wayne County Community College District. It's where learning leads to a better life.
I get 2 more.
Have you seen my dad?
Hey, he just left. He said he's gonna go to the track. Jogger on your left.
Hey, have you seen my dad?
Yeah, he went to the ball game.
Hey, down in front. Your dad's right there.
Dad?
Billy?
Strike 3, out!
Son, you really ought to call before you come out.
Ask about our Del Webb Equity Share Program, which helps you sell your house and saves you money.
This Wednesday, Art Van is giving you more time to take advantage of some incredible savings during our 13-hour sale. Everything's on sale, plus get 0% interest for 4 years plus no tax. Art Van's 13-hour sale is Wednesday 10 to 11. Art Van, trust the leader.
If you have back or neck pain, call Michigan's most respected treatment provider, Dynamic Rehabilitation, at 888-DYNAMIC. That's 888-DYNAMIC.
Local 4 Traffic is sponsored by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. All new, up-to-the-minute stories you need to see. Local 4 News Morning continues right now.
And welcome back on a Wednesday morning. Local 4 News Morning continues. It is 5:30 and the temperature right now sitting in the mid-50s and headed up. It's going to be another gorgeous day around here.
Yeah, may see a few clouds, but we'll get the full check of your weather and traffic coming up at 5:34, but a good day all in all.
We do want to share some encouraging news for you this morning regarding the future of Ford. In just a few hours, the Dearborn automaker is going to be making a big announcement that will be a boost for our economy.
First got wind of this yesterday morning. We're going to be talking about hundreds of new jobs, and it all has to do with the Wayne Truck Assembly Plant. Jim Kirchner is following this for us this morning. And Jim, this is some encouraging news.
For one morning, we're not talking about bankruptcy, teetering on bankruptcy, cuts, layoffs, plant closings. Here comes Ford, still going it alone without the government aid. And now a $400 million watch for moment this morning. This was actually first announced last summer when gas hit $4 a gallon. The move from gas-guzzling SUVs to small cars from Europe.
You know, when the SUV came, it was great. You know, we couldn't build them fast enough for these people. Now all of a sudden, you know, it took a turn for the worst.
The sign at one plant gate, a sign of the future, as the plant was shut down last July to stop the supply of product coming out and begin the retooling. Gone are the big SUVs, the Ford Expedition and Lincoln Navigator. Small is in, these are coming. The C-Max for Compact Max and the Kuga, designed by Ford in Europe. Times change, trends change, but this change means this plant and 1,500 jobs are still going for a projected 10 years.
I've been driving this one since 1989, 486,000 miles on it, and this is a Ford.
So Ford workers obviously proud. Now this big watch for a moment happening at 11 o'clock this morning with Ford, the UAW, and the governor. Guy?
All right, we will look forward to that, Jim, but good news for the folks down there who have kind of been on the bubble. Thanks.
Okay.
Ford is investing in its Michigan assembly plant in Wayne, a move which could create 1,500 jobs. Today, Governor Jennifer Granholm will join Executive Chairman Bill Ford Jr. at the plant to make the announcement. Ford is investing $400 million. The Wall Street Journal says the plant will produce small, fuel-efficient cars like the Focus. Besides creating 1,500 jobs, the investment is expected to protect another 3,200.
It is Wednesday, May 6th, and this is Fox 2 News Morning at 7.
Fox 2 News starts now.
An automotive move that could create up to 1,500 new jobs. Today, Ford is expected to announce it's investing $400 million into the Michigan assembly plant in Wayne. Governor Jennifer Granholm and Executive Chairman Bill Ford Jr. will be on hand for the event. The plant will likely produce small, fuel-efficient cars like the Ford Focus. Besides creating 1,500 jobs, the investment is expected to protect another 3,200.